address given a range. So the first command, which can be used as a network sweeping to scan an IP address ports or a range of IP addresses, you can use Nmap SN, the IP address. Then when you say minus, now we can specify. It means that where the IP address is ending, for example, this IP address is ending, that is the starting point. When you say dash 254, it means you scan 235, 37, 38, up to 254. Okay? Up to almost its broadcast. Up to almost its broadcast. So for those who have got the Kali Linux open, I would like you to test this command Nmap -SN IP address 254-254. Okay. I deliberately left this. I don't want to go to Kali Linux. But what you can do is when you are here, say you can test it on our mother, which is Kapasa Makasa. Just try and say host. Just try and say host. It will bring you host KMU. To bring you the IP address, the Arashi IP address. Then type Nmap, send the IP address for our mother, and put any number, maybe up to 100, and you will see it can to 100 IP addresses. Okay. So the next command is saying Nmap port number. So Nmap -P. Okay, and then what is following here, the port. So it depends. If, for example, you want to scan only the IP addresses or is range, only the IP address that has port 80, then you are saying Nmap -P 80. Scan these IP addresses from the last 235 up to 254, but only for those ports, for those IP addresses which are running port 80 or whose port 80 is open. So it will only target port 80, okay, for that range of IP address. And it will give you results, port number 8, whether it's open or closed. Okay, so that is it. What this command will do. So basically, when it's doing this range, it is sweeping the network. And like we said, you must be aware of the implications of sweeping the network. It will scan the entire network for this range, because 254 is a huge number of hosts that you are targeting, a huge number of IP addresses. Others can go to 1024, that's 1024 IP addresses. So you find that you are scanning extremely, okay, huge amount of information from the range of IP addresses. Okay, so that is network sweeping. We must be aware of the implications of port scanning. All right, so the next command is Nmap -ST. The way it is, there's no mistake there. Nmap -ST. So the two dashes are minus top ports 20. So when you put a command like this, you are simply saying only give me the top 20 ports for this IP address range. And it will give you for each IP address only 20 open ports. So you have, if it goes to, let's say, 192.168.30.35, it will scan only the top 20 which are open for this host alone. Then it will go to 192.168.30.36, and it will go and only top 20 ports open for that, for the host 192.168.30.36. Then it will go to 192.168.30.37 and only scan for. So it's like it will bring blocks 20 for 35, 20 for .36, 20 for .37, 20 for .38, 20 for .39, 20 for .40, just like that until it reaches 254. So now imagine it's looking for those IP address ranges, but only picking 20. But in each port, it must establish what we are saying at first, three-way handshake. Then it goes to the next port. So you are talking about a huge amount of information and a huge amount of work it is now doing on the network. Now imagine it, then also imagine the overload, then also imagine the interference that this sweeping, network sweeping, will actually cause on the network that you are targeting. Okay? That's what it means. Right, so I would like you to actually run this one also, let's say on our mother. Yeah, guy, they have not, guy, we have been saying, let's have a dummy test environment, and it seems it falls, our request falls on deaf ears. So we will test on our mother. We are simply scanning, we are not doing any attacks. But the next scanners may have a bit of attack, because there are some scanners whereby you are basically scanning, it also becomes overzealous and it begins to do elementary attacks. So such scanner, but it is also doing a bit of attacking. So it is not good. So okay, that's what this command will do. So I'd like you to experiment and generate results yourselves for that command. Okay? Are we together so far? Guys. Are we together so far?
No.
Sir, where are you? Where are you lost? Yes.
The command that's saying nmap minus st, then the dash top. Now the last part, which is 254, I didn't get what you explained concerning that. I just said that you have to list the top 20 IP addresses related to that, but the 254, I didn't get it.
Okay. Oh, what I was saying is you are scanning a range of IP addresses. So the 254 is a minus range, this is the last number of the range of IP addresses. So the first one will be 230.235. So you are saying when you say dash or minus 254, you are saying from this last IP address to the one which will end with .254. So which means that the scanner will scan from this IP address and go away to the last IP address which will have 254 at the end. Okay, so between 35 and 254 are a number of IP addresses. But then this command is going to pick each host. For example, if this is host number 1, it will scan ports, top 20. Okay, we know that there are many ports. So if you only scan top 20 ports which are open and displayed, and go to the next host, which is 92.168.30.36. Only top 20 ports. And again, just like that. Okay. Let me see if I can snip something. I'll show you what I mean. I wanted to avoid sharing again, sharing and reshare for the sake of time. Okay, so just a minute. Let me see if I can get something so I show you how the result is going to look like. I have it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I think I got something. But it says up to 70. Okay, I only did up to 70. But for you, if you put to 6, you must know that it will not give you right there. It will, you have to wait for it to generate. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so I have amount of information generated by that command for me from this end. Okay, let me unshare and reshare and share this one so that you can share from the result. Okay, share again. Right, good. So if that is, you are interested to know what operating systems are running on that network, you would want to go further as a hacker or penetration tester to know which operating system would be handy to attack the network. Okay. So your interest is to know also what version of operating system. So the version itself is vital information, is like a holy grail to enable you to penetrate the network and attack the network. Okay? So when the scanners normally scan for ports, the services, they are not scanning for fun. They are scanning to give you information so that you can make a decision what next to do. Some of the scanners are such that when they scan those ports and they give you what services are running there, you must bear in mind that some of those services have got published CVE vulnerabilities. So when you discover that on one service there is a vulnerability, you can decide to attack the vulnerability or penetrate that vulnerability. Okay. So Nmap is able to also retrieve information to do with the operating systems, as well as see other banners. Okay, so attacking an operating system, or if you think that you find it easy to penetrate the network using the weaknesses or the vulnerabilities found in the operating system, you can still use Nmap to view the versions or give you an idea of the versions that are running in that network that you are trying to scan. So the parameters to do, like we were saying, are these. These will give you the information. Okay. So they will give you a comprehensive picture of the target rather than just open port. So it means that if you are interested in finding, let me see if you find Windows XP, because I know Windows XP is an older version, that is one, it is end of life. 2, then 3, it has a vulnerability called Eternal Blue. I need to exploit Eternal Blue. So now your target changes from just scanning for ports now for scanning to change to scanning operating system. And then you issue commands that will go for the operating system version. Wow. So the commands are simple. minus A 135 or Nmap SP 19233, depending on the IP address. Nmap O faster. So when it scans parameter, it will operating system related information. So once you look at the related information, you make a decision, what next? So it's like hacking is a step-by-step kind of process. The first thing you do, you gather information. The next thing, you're looking for specific items which you can target. Like I said, some scanners, normally when they scan, they also tell you what available exploits you can use about what you have found. Okay? Nmap just needs to you. It may not probably show you the exploits that are published, available for those vulnerabilities that you have discovered. Okay, but some scanners will have that. Even Nmap can have some versions or something like that. So that's what you might want to do. You want to know if this network has certain operating system that you want to attack. So you can put parameters to bring to you the version of, if that is what you think is the possible way to pay that network. So if you are targeting that you might use a service, you will go for basically services. If you think that you will attack the network by using open ports, then you will basically go for open ports. Are we together? For example, port. Okay? Or port 445. So it depends on what target that you want to act. So in your arsenal, you may have a number of things that you can use to penetrate the network. Should it be ports? It is up to you as a hacker. Should it be operating systems? It is up to you as a hacker. Because if operating systems must certain skill or certain exploits that can play around with operating system. So you scan for ports, or you scan services on the ports, depending on which one you want to target. So they don't scan and give you information for fun. Give you information for your next decision and the next step in your penetration or in your hacking. Okay. So if you run, for example, Nmap A 10.10.04, for example, this example here, this is what it will bring to you. Nmap minus A, an IP address of maybe a host machine. It will scan, it will show you the ports. After showing you the ports, it will show you using port 445. Yes, to show you 135, 139, 445. 445 is key port. And on that one, it will retrieve information that it's a TCP route port, which means that you can connect to this port via TCP over internet or remote, and you will still get to that port. Okay, so now the information that it gives you is a version of the operating system. Take your Windows 7 to R2. Then, if you're going to use the operating system as a witness of vulnerability, you will know that server 2012 R2 is actually out of support. It is ended life. And more is that it is also bound to a CTP trapped in the TCP. You say, wow, I can get to it. Okay. Then on top of that, you will know that Windows Server 2012 has a vulnerability also called which plus any other activity. Okay. So that I want to use. So Nmap IP address gives you the version of the operating system, which is a key information to you as a hacker. So you find that some of these tools gives you pieces of information that you need to work with. One tool will give you the version of the operating, another tool will give you a version of how you can attack Server 22. Other tool will give you a version of how you can go through port 445. It gives you those that give you what? Information. Okay, is that clear? So that is a -a command. So it will give you all that. Okay. So on top of that, if you go down further, you find that this operating system, it will also give you the service pack 3, service pack 4, service pack 5. You know, if it's a version of the server 22, what service pack is more vulnerable than the other service pack? Command can give you. So right, using Nmap you have the scanner. Oh, sorry, you have got map whenever you have got scan. Yeah, right, scan. Oh, up to -TNS. So what you are doing here, you are targeting the domain controllers of Cisco. When you say -TNS cisco.com, so it will give you the domain controllers IP address here, non-authoritative answer. And it will give you an IP address and the domain name. So if you did it on your mother, she will respond with the IP and the domain controllers that are running there, especially that you are in the network, within the network. Especially that you are within the. Okay, so guys, do not do other thing unless instructed, because you want a system, right? So you want to safely just check. We are not saying that we are going to do anything. We're not doing anything. We are simply scanning. If we find so many weaknesses, we inform the mother. So, okay. So you say host -TNS, host -TNS kmu.ac.za to bring the domain controllers back, the IP address. So when you say Nmap, now it will try retrieve information, whether it's a VMware running on VMware operating system, what, to bring all that information. You say Nmap -a to give you that information. Okay. So we are simply saying, can you try to scan on your mother? You are simply scanning only. I didn't say any other thing. Give us the versions, or try to display the version of the operating system. So when you have displayed the version of the operating system on your mother, try and find out what exploits can exist for the operating system that you are going to find. Plenty of information. You can even make a catalog, or you can even make a list of what vulnerabilities are found on the or are running on your network. Already you can also begin to think of strategies of how those can be secured. Already you can also start of what advice to give your mother on the vulnerabilities used to exploit this network and how they can secure it. Okay, fine, good. Now, I would like to take for another one. So if you use this command nmap -sv, it will bring you TCP wrapped ports Of course, yes, TCP wrapped ports. If you go to all TCP wrapped ports are open. Okay, good. So lab activity, lab 4. Lab 4. Use appropriate command. Okay, before we proceed, are we together so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Guys.
Nisharira basa.
Guys. Are you rusty?
Very much, sir.
Asabiseni mwenge.
Yes, sir.
Where are you lost, Lawrence? Yes, Barole. One 103.224.188.9. So that is the 9 that I have retrieved. So now I want to tell what operating system. Then I want to tell if this man is running a latest operating system or an old operating system, and I want to exploit one of those. Because now targeting the domain controller. Domain controller is the main server that is responsible for .com, .org, .ac domain. So once I compromise this kind of a server, I am basically in the domain. I can create myself a user, can elevate this user to super user, domain controller user. And then I can enter into I can log in to any account if I was to do that. That's a danger of a domain controller hacked into. It means a person can create a user because it's on the domain controller that you can create users. Those are some of the implications that comes as spyware attacks. Okay, so once I get into the domain controller, then, so have you seen, I'm checking this domain controller coordinates one for here, and now I've seen the IP address. Now I want to know what operating system. So once I know what operating system, then I can further penetrate using the operating system vulnerabilities into this domain. Okay, into this domain. So that is what you do, Rollins. You use host those answer. So it does any domain name, bring the controller. For example, then for Unza, let's see Unza. AC. I think Unza is Unza. Ding. So what am I saying? I'm saying yes. So I will be saying Unza dot setting. Unza is using 3 domain controllers. So use appropriate commands to discover the domain controllers for KMU. Very simple lab activity. So this one, I don't know, guys. Do you think we can do it in a group? This can you present? I want to see how you can unearth some of these things, because you find that when you are a consultant for cybersecurity, just discovering those things, it is a report in itself which you can write about. Okay, you can give a report. Okay. So if you wish, we could actually present this in groups as an activity. All right, so what operating system versions are running on each DC? Then use appropriate command to identify what ports are open, of course. That is easy also. What vulnerability attacks are possible on any discovered server? So looking at what information you have, you can also tell what vulnerabilities are available and are possible or can be exploited. Then come up with a remediation, a report of what advice you can give KMU to secure the server from any possible attack vectors. This is very nice. When can you present?